Welcome to Uncoupled, a celebrity show that looks at breakups and discovers exactly what went wrong and why. I'm Margaret Abrams here at the Daily Mail.
And I'm Luke Carron. And today we're diving in on Queen icon legend herself, Taylor Swift, and her relationship with Matty Healy. I mean, you may be asking, why did we choose Taylor and Matty for our first episode? I mean, the country is swept up in all things Taylor right now. She just got engaged a few weeks ago, months ago at this point, to Travis Kelce, and she released Life of a Showgirl. And many people are like, Travis is her everything. But I was shocked to find out that the man that's been part of her life for arguably the longest time is, in fact, Mr. Matty Healy.
It was a 10-year situationship, which she revealed, and I think that also sort of came back around when The Life of a Showgirl came out, and it was a really sort of hit-or-miss record. Some dedicated Swifties absolutely loved it. Some others said, you know, we hated Matty Healy, but bring him back. I'd rather you sing about him than hear these songs about Travis Kelce.
Right. So before we start diving deep into it, let's kind of give everyone an overview about who Matty Healy is. I mean, for the average Taylor Swift fan, he may be someone that was a 3-week blip in 2023 on her dating history. But for those that don't know, he's actually the lead singer of a band called the 1975. He has 2 famous parents, Denise Welch. She's on a show called Loose Women in the UK, which is a version of The View. And then Tim Healy, who's an actor over there. Like, how would you describe Matty Healy?
He's sort of been this bad boy figure, which also was crazy for Taylor to be dating because if you think about it, she does have this squeaky clean image and he definitely doesn't. And both of them at different times have sort of swept this situationship under the rug. Right. So I think we have to go all the way back, more than a decade ago at this point, to look at where he started, which was frontman of the 1975. He's dated women who were pop stars, but different. He dated Halsey, he dated FKA Twigs, so indie girls that were very different than Taylor.
Right.
And he denied dating Taylor at different times throughout his career.
He sure did. So why don't we get into it? Like, let's go through how they first kind of met, how things kicked off between them. I think, as you said, we have to go all the way back to like 2013. This is the era of Tumblr, the golden age of when everyone was reblogging things. It was like internet gold. And they start noticing themselves, each other on Tumblr, more or less, started liking each other's things and kind of going that way. And I think it was in 2013, Matty did an interview with Metro where he said, Taylor Swift and Ellie Goulding have been very sweet and tweeted about us. Kaiser Chiefs, Arctic Monkeys, Paramore, Taylor Swift, One Direction, and Rihanna have all asked us to go on tour with them, which is flattering as they're all iconic artists. We just want to write records and play to people who care about them. So this is like the first inkling when we start to really notice that they're taking note of each other. They're catching each other's eyes. They're starting to develop a little bit of a crush, could you say?
I think like a Tumblr crush, an internet crush. And for massive Swifties, some of them believe that maybe this very toxic situationship happened. Then it happened even more than a decade ago, because 2014 is when we know that they met. But people think perhaps they started chatting on Tumblr, they started texting, going back to then, because if she did invite him on tour, then obviously there was some kind of conversation going on.
Totally. I mean, she obviously took note of them. I mean, he was cute back then too. I mean, you have to admit, he had that like curly hair, that very All-American Rejects-ish look.
Right.
Obviously the British accent. I mean,
which was what she liked. She was dating Harry Styles, so that was the vibe. It was like bad boy Harry Styles.
Totally. So then I guess we can fast forward. She releases 1989, which is, I think, my favorite album, in October of 2014, and she moves to New York. And this is when she's in her like Taylor Swift heyday New York era. I think she had an apartment down in Tribeca. She was bopping about town. And, you know, things start really picking up at the end of that year. I think it was November 4th, Matty Healy goes on stage wearing that iconic 1989 shirt. And I think that was like the moment people were like, oh my God, there might actually be something to the two of them.
Right. And then she steps out and she's wearing the 1975 shirt paired with her little mini skirt, which,
so gorgeous.
You know,
it was like a plaid mini skirt. She had the sunglasses on, her iconic red lip, her little bob. Just like, I mean, it's Taylor Swift at the end of the day. So when she steps out in that shirt, it's like, she's making a statement.
Right, to her followers who then are going to go listen to the 1975.
Right. But do you think she's also signaling like, okay, let's start planting the flag that like, I may be with Matty Healy?
I think this is an interesting time because she's also saying, I'm so tired of these rumors about my love life, but then she's wearing this band shirt that's starting rumors about her love life.
I feel like she knew exactly what she was doing wearing that. And then, you know, on top of that, she starts showing up at 1975 concerts. I think the first one she goes to is with her besties at the time, Ellie Goulding and Selena Gomez.
Yes.
She shows up, and it's reported that she hangs backstage with the band and exchanges numbers with Matty Healy. So, you know, this is a lot of speculation on social media. However, I think this is when we first really get a hint that they're doing more than just being flirty with each other. They're actually kind of starting to make plans to hang out. She's going to his concerts. They're having fun. She's bringing her girlies with her. She's like, look at my new crush, you know?
And he even confirmed in an interview that they had started texting.
Right.
So it's even more than speculation because he's not afraid to say what he at least thinks is going on.
And she's going on Instagram and captioning posts with like lyrics to some of their music, right?
She captions lyrics to the city and says, yeah, you want to find love, then you know where the city is, which will be very important literally 10 years later.
Totally. So then I think, you know, they're wearing each other's clothes. They're like signaling to everyone that they are into it. And then I think one of the big pivotal moments happened here in New York. She goes to Terminal 5
Yes.
with Carly Kloss and Lily Aldridge. And people in the audience take this footage of him singing Falling for You.
Yes.
And looking directly at her. And she gets kind of like giddy like a schoolgirl. Right?
Yes, which I have so many thoughts about. First of all, Terminal 5, terrible venue. For her to haul all the
Terminal
way there,
5,
that's dedication.
Memories.
That's love.
Yes, it's true.
That's love for her to do that.
I mean, for those that don't know, it's all the way on the west side. It's like kind of far out there. You have to hike to get there.
Yeah, sound quality not great. So she loves this man at this point.
She does. I mean, she's into it.
And this also comes back around 10 years later because she releases sort of a song that echoes Falling for You, complete with Falling for You is lowercase, and she has her own song called I Want to Get You Back, all lowercase, where she talks about wanting to get back with someone or wanting to get back at someone. And it is a call and response to this song.
She is one smart woman.
She's a mastermind.
She is a mastermind. And this was a crazy night because the true heads know what else may or may not have happened, which we don't have to dive that deep into. But yeah, I mean, so all this is going on. It's never really confirmed that they're dating.
No,
right?
Nothing is confirmed. And in fact, she then gets with Calvin Harris from March 2015 until June 2016. And Matty is asked about dating Taylor, which he's been asked about a few times now. And he said it would be an emasculating thing. And he receives massive backlash at this point from Swifties, to the point where he has to later write a letter in response to the backlash. And he says, I am not a misogynist. And he then clarifies, we never dated, which is something he's going to say time and time again over the next decade, literally.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's also important to note that Matty Healy isn't like completely squeaky clean.
No.
Right? I mean, he's done some problematic things on social media. He had issues with drugs that he's been open about.
Yeah.
And that was kind of going on during this time. You know, I think it really kind of kicked off after he was alleged to have been in this relationship with Taylor Swift. But he ended up, I think, going to rehab and then getting clean for the most part. You know, I think we have to keep that in mind with him, because I think it comes into play later on when they start dating again, that, you know, he isn't this Joe Alwyn type.
Right.
He isn't like a squeaky clean boy like Calvin Harris, or some of the other, you know, famous men that she's dated.
And it's something she talks about lyrically. She said she compares him to Peter Pan, which we later found out she compared him to Peter Pan throughout her lyrics for years before she confirmed any of this, and said, "You always said when you grew up you were going to come find me."
Right.
So he was promising her for a literal decade, once I sort of have cleaned up my act, I'm going to come back to you and come back for you.
And that he did.
He did.
So we fast forward to, what was it?
It is January 2023, and that's why I said those lyrics from The City are going to be a little bit meaningful later, because she pops up on stage in London and she performs The City.
Right.
She also plays anti-hero for the very first time in London, which she's, you know, pretty particular about the shows she plays. So for her to debut this new song at a 1975 concert is pretty crazy for her fans.
Totally. And they showed up on Instagram in a photo together too,
Yes.
didn't they? It's like this gorgeous photo of the O2 Arena in London, and she looks angelic in a lot of ways. I think he looks a bit older, a little more handsome. I mean, he's definitely kind of matured and become, I think, more of like an edgy, grown-up, sophisticated rocker.
Well, also on that photo, that is a beautiful photograph, and a lot of fans were thinking, why is it this beautiful photograph? And they thought they were potentially filming some behind-the-scenes footage and that he was going to be in a documentary with her, and that's why that picture exists.
Got it. Because at this time, she was still together with Joe.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Do we have any behind-the-scenes info? And if
I mean, they had not announced a breakup, and they did not announce the breakup until April 2023. But if we go back and look at some of the music she was writing on Folklore, on Evermore,
right,
and we think about this Peter Pan theory, we think about the love triangle she was referring to, once we know everything, it's sort of obvious that Matty has been the ultimate muse throughout history.
Totally.
So I mean, were they together this whole time?
I mean, if I had to speculate, I feel like he was the bad boy that got away, and he always had like a special place in her heart. I think she must have liked having that artist on stage that was singing about her. And
Right.
I think, you know, she may have missed that when she was with Joe. Joe was notably very quiet about their relationship. They didn't appear in public that often together. And, you know, maybe deep down in the back of her mind, she was like, I wonder what it would be like to get back together with Mr. Matty.
Right. And they sort of famously had these paparazzi shots of Joe running to the car.
Right.
And then they split. And then starting in May, we get her being really public with Matty. We're getting paparazzi shots, we're getting PDA, we're getting things we never got in years of this relationship with Joe Alwyn.
Let's start breaking some of that down, because that was a crazy, crazy time. I think it was in May of 2023, there were rumors that they were planning to go public with their relationship. I think it was fascinating because you start seeing Matty Healy pop up at different spots of the Eras Tour. I think one of them was in Nashville. He was there. And then, you know, a few days later, we see the first inkling that they are a couple.
We see her in Nashville playing. We see him watching. We see him watching with her dad, who she's really close to. We see both of these hometown shows that are really important Eras tours, and we see him there. He also had opened an Eras tour with Boy Genius, so he's been a part of it for a long time, and he looked so in love with her.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, I saw some of the tweets and some of the videos, and he kind of looked nerdy. He was in like a white button up, and he was like swaying back and forth to it.
I think he looked in love.
I mean, I guess looking back, knowing that context, you can say that.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like he could have edged it up a bit.
I mean, Travis Kelce certainly looks more in love, but he looked more in love than someone. At this point, we think, they've been together 2 weeks. We don't think this has been going on for 10 years. So it surprised fans.
Right. So anyway, back to May of 2023. May 7th, we see those photos of them spotted at Casa Cipriani.
Yes.
Downtown.
Which we got those pictures from. It's a private members club, and we got those pictures from private members who were later thrown out of the club. So thank you for their service. Yes.
She's wearing this like whitish yellow dress. He has this like, it looks to be a suit on, white shirt, black jacket.
Clutching a cigarette.
They are kind of arm in arm with each other, like really touchy-feely. Now, if you were at Casa and you saw them walk in, would your mouth drop to the floor? What would be your take?
I mean, it's kind of like going to a Soho house. I think they assumed people are not going to photograph us. We're going to get some kind of privacy. They were on a double date with Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff, her longtime producer.
Right.
So that also is showing it serious. And she also later was referencing that he's sort of part of this crowd with Lucy Dacus, with Jack Antonoff, this sort of cool indie musician crew, Phoebe Bridgers.
And this was after Evermore and Folklore, right?
Yeah. So this is like years later, and it seems like, she has this cool new indie New York City crowd. She's totally embraced him. This is part of her life.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting to see her now with Travis Kelce, which she has a new crowd, new group of friends, totally different life.
I mean, she has had her eras in her different crews and have done wild things. But, you know, I think going back to their relationship, we see them spotted at Casa Cipriani, and then they're just bouncing around the city, being spotted everywhere. I mean,
Electric Lady Studios is the most exciting one because everyone thought they're recording music together.
Right. And is that the one where she was wearing the NYU?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, iconic. That was like, I don't know why I love that photo so much, but it's like she has this purple and black NYU kind of retro thing. And I feel like growing up, if I saw a photo like that, it would be like, I want to come to New York and live that life. And so I think seeing something like that always harkens back to these magic moments of like what the city can bring. But that's an aside on me, which no one is interested in. But anyway, when do we find out that they are like confirmed to be in a relationship?
It's that May. We hear they might be moving in together. He goes on stage and he says, "This is about you. You know who you are. I love you." And that's kind of crazy to see. And then we have her follow it up at the Eras tour, and she says it in return. And again, these are things where if you think that they've been dating for 2 weeks, which is what we're hearing at this point, you think, what do you mean? You love each other? So that is a major confirmation, along with all of these rumors they're moving in together, along with these paparazzi shots. So this is all happening at once.
Right. And didn't we also get exclusive photos of her and him in an SUV coming back to her apartment in Nashville?
We got a lot of exclusive pictures at that time of them, I think in New York City, in Nashville. They were jet setting together.
Right. So we have all these great pictures of them together, and then these wild things start resurfacing. I mean, we get his porn history, and he's looking at a website called Ghetto Gaggers. I mean, and it's insane. She has this squeaky clean image. She is Taylor Swift. And like, people are questioning, why is she with someone who would go on the Adam Friedland show and talk about like his porn? That really was kind of the beginning of the end for them. He was making comments about Ice Spice. It just wasn't good. it all came to a head in completion probably around the beginning of June. So this is literally a 3-week relationship. Matty is seen kissing a male security guard. And for important context, he has kissed fans during his concerts in the past. But, you know, he kisses this male security guard, and doesn't he write, "I'm sorry" on stage too?
Technically, sorry, question mark.
Sorry,
yes,
question mark.
Even better.
And I mean, that is kind of the crux of their relationship, at least that we know about from a public standpoint. But, you know, through it all, I think it's really interesting to go back and look at the impact that Matty Healy has had on Taylor Swift's music. I mean, we touched on a little bit throughout, but why don't we kind of dive into some of the fan theories and what people have picked up on in her music?
We don't really get answers until she puts out the Tortured Poets department. And that's when we find out what really went on, which really shocked basically every Swiftie alive, because we thought we were going to get an album about Joe Alwyn. And this is, you know, a very divisive thing in Swift culture, but a lot of people think we got an album about Matty Healy instead.
Okay.
Because we have some people saying it's casual, and then we have Taylor Swift herself basically saying, no, this was a 10-year situationship. I loved this man, and my fans did not. Which kind of brings us to a little game I thought we could play.
Okay.
The lyrics game.
All right.
Where I am going to go through some lyrics from both the Tortured Poets department, which is, Matty literally said at Glastonbury, "Some might call me a poet," which a lot of people thought was poking fun at this album, and a few of her earlier albums. And you tell me, do you think these are about Matty or Joe?
Okay.
We have from I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. The jokes that he told across the bar were revolting and far too loud.
I mean, I feel like this has to be about Matty.
Yeah.
He, you know, has his whole Truman Black persona, and he would tweet out these outrageous things. And I feel like Taylor is probably kind of calling that out a little bit, saying that his jokes are revolting, but that didn't stop her from sleeping with him.
We have, at dinner, you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on. And that's the closest I've come to my heart exploding.
I mean, boring, so I feel like Joe, but do you have a different take?
So this one, a lot of people thought was Matty, and it was actually him saying we could get married, we could have babies, and teasing her with that throughout their situationship.
Interesting. Do you think in a parallel universe she would have said yes if he had proposed?
Completely.
Okay, fair.
But I think, like what you were saying, a lot of the fan backlash was part of the toxic reason it ended on both their parts.
Right.
I don't think he could handle all that hatred. This is the smallest man who ever lived.
Okay.
I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside. And you deserve prison, but you won't get time. You'll slide into inboxes and slip through the bars.
Matty, I feel like that's almost self-explanatory. I feel like this gives a lot of credit to Taylor Swift because, like, I think she actually really did care about him.
Yes.
I mean, he had a lot of issues, but I think probably behind the scenes, she really stood by him and like wanted to be there for him. And I feel like they most likely kept in touch for throughout all of that, probably because in many ways he is a creative, really smart guy who makes great music. And I think she really wanted it to work. And she even said that she would have died for his sins. I mean, we all know he had a lot of them, but like, she's pissed. She's saying, I'm pissed that like I gave you so many chances to make it work. In a lot of ways, she put her career on the line by getting back together with him. I mean, it was risky to go public. She did. And now she wants to send him to prison. I don't blame her.
And this song, when she does it live, she basically completely performs it the way he would. She
Right.
marches down the stage the way he does. She does it in black and white the way he does. She also references the suit that he wears when he performs, and then this one will be a spoiler. So she says also in The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, "You tried to buy some pills from a friend of friends of mine, but they just ghosted you. Now you know what it feels like." So that's how everyone found out Matty Healy ghosted Taylor Swift after a 10-year situationship.
Wow, chills.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the beauty of all of this is this humanizes Taylor Swift in a lot of ways. I mean, it's who couldn't relate to like being in love with someone for so long and then getting ghosted?
Okay, the pills part is also crazy because Matty has been very open about his sobriety, and he is sober at the moment. So she's not just saying...
I mean, accusing a sober person of taking pills, that's another like shot. Shots fired, Miss Swift.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
A lot of them all at once.
Right.
Now we have Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. And she says, "As the decade would play us for fools, and you saw my bones out with somebody new who seemed like he would have bullied you in school."
I just can't picture Joe Alwyn as a bully. So Matty?
Yeah, there are a lot of fan theories on this one. We have Matty and moving on with Calvin Harris, who I can see that more than... I mean, Tom Hiddleston could be an option. I don't see him being a big bully.
He's the guy that wore the I Heart TS shirt in the ocean.
Yeah, in Rhode Island. I don't see that.
I don't see that.
And then Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus is the title. And then the theories behind that were potentially what they wanted to name their children.
Wow.
Or he was kissing all those people on stage. So the fact that she would watch him kiss these men and women during his performances.
Interesting.
Those are the theories. What are your thoughts?
I mean, another shot fired from Miss Swift. She
She's
is saying
for him.
You are out there kissing all these women. I mean, she really had patience for this Matty man.
10 years of patience.
10 years of patience.
And now we have The Black Dog. "I just don't understand how you don't miss me in The Black Dog when someone plays the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song."
Okay, first of all, I love the band The Starting Line. I mean, they are great. And I feel like the Starting Line is a thread that connects their relationship in many ways. They kind of, I think both at one point or another mention it. So for her to say, you play the starting line and this woman is not old enough to even know who they are, that's definitely a direct call out to Matty, in my opinion. Matty moved on to date some internet starlet called
Gabriette, who is 28. Taylor is 35. Matty is 36.
Got it. So yeah, he's saying like, why would you play our song for this
internet starlet? Okay, so interestingly, a lot of Swifties thought this one was about Joe because they thought The Black Dog, they found the pub. It is in London.
Okay.
And she also talks about tracking his location in this. And they were like, why would Matty Healy ever let you track his location? But I feel like the Starting Line call out, Matty loves the Starting Line, an iconic emo millennial band. Why is Joe listening to an American millennial emo band? That doesn't make sense. So to me, this is the most obvious Matty one at all. It also kind of sounds like a Starting Line song.
It does.
So we are going to go to The One. "If one thing had been different, would everything be different today?" And it is a song about the one who got away.
If one thing was different, I mean, Matty.
And I think the thing that gives this one away is when she and Matty split, she took this one out of the lineup.
Interesting.
Yep.
What about "I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In"?
You know, that one, no one can really figure out who it's about. There have been rumors for years. Some people think weirdly Tyson Ritter from the All American Rejects. Some people think she met Matty secretly years ago. It could be him. Harry Styles.
Interesting. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I think I have a game for you.
I'm ready.
If you're up for it. And I think this could be a fun one where we kind of look at some pivotal moments in their relationship and we determine how we would react or what we would think about if that happened to us. So the game, I mean, don't hate me for my originality, but it's called Red Flag, Green Flag. And I'll pick some fun moments and we can say if we think that that's a red flag or a green flag in a relationship. Okay, so the first one is bringing a typewriter to your love interest's apartment. And I'm not sure if we touched upon this in our discussion, but there was a famous TikTok that came out where you see Matty Healy kind of scurry out of a car carrying this like big duffel bag, and it was rumored to be a typewriter to Taylor Swift's apartment.
Yeah, and not just rumored. She later said, you brought the typewriter to my apartment straight from the tortured poets department. And he often talks about writing on the typewriter.
There you have it. So red flag or green flag?
I think massive red flag. Like, why can't he just keep it there? Why can't he type on his phone? What about a laptop?
I mean, come on, though. I mean, you have to find it so romantic if, like, the boy that you're into finds a typewriter. I mean, it's 2023 at this point. I mean, 2025 in today's day and age. Where do you even get a typewriter? He pulls one out, and they are writing music together, probably curled up next to the fire, writing like beautiful music. I would say green flag all the way.
Okay.
Our second one, captioning an Instagram photo to get attention from the person that you're dating. Red flag, green flag.
Okay, I think this one is a yellow flag because she did this when she was she was 23. I think when you're in your 20s, frankly, green flag. Everyone has done this at some point in their life. If she did this at, 35, a little off, but in your 20s,
she kind of is by writing all this music about people.
She did write like 16 songs about him. Fine.
Yes. I mean, I personally would say red flag. Like, if you're captioning an Instagram photo, yes, like, say it to my face.
I think it depends how obvious the caption is.
Right. But, I mean, hers weren't like, I don't know. I just think in today's day and age, I don't want to know what you're thinking about by reading your Instagram caption. I want you to come straight to me and tell me.
Taylor is a peak millennial.
True.
And back then, that is what everyone did.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have some crazy AOL Instant Messenger statuses and like away messages. Remember that?
Yeah, I bet she did too.
Okay. Moving on. So you go on a first date and they bring you to a members club. I mean, we know that Taylor and Matty were spotted at Casa Cipriani downtown, Zero Bond, which is right around the corner. So if your date calls you up and is like, hey, babe, we're going to Chez Margot or whatever the new hotspot is, red flag, green flag?
I think in this case, green flag, because they're famous. They don't want to be spotted. And I think in real life depends what members club you're going to and how cool it is.
Should we go through them? No.
Rank the clubs. What about you?
I mean, I would say red flag.
Okay, why?
I think if you bring me to a members club on our first date, like you are trying to compensate for something.
I also think it depends like what date it is. First. Yellow flag.
Yellow flag. Okay, I guess if they're cute, I would go. Moving on. Kissing someone in public post-breakup. And for this one, we can hearken it back to when Matty Healy kisses that very cute male security guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I might too. But, okay, so kissing basically, would you, red flag, green flag, getting under someone to get over someone?
I think in this case, red flag, because it was so public. And again, like, they are in their 30s now. This is so 20-something behavior.
Right.
This is like college breakup. You're at the college bar doing it so that everyone knows, but they are in front of the entire world.
That's true. I mean, I guess for me, I would say green flag, everyone's entitled to be sloppy after a breakup.
At 36?
Why not? I mean, let's get a little sloppy now and then. But if I was in that circumstance, I would say red flag. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
You've had enough trouble, mister. Like, let's... Okay. This one I know you're not a huge fan of because, spoiler alert, we talked about it earlier, but the college sweatshirts. Vintage college sweatshirts. Red flag or green flag?
I just think this is beige flag.
What do you mean by beige flag?
Are you wearing your own college sweatshirt? I think that's fine.
Yes. So your hot date shows up and he is rocking a UPenn sweatshirt from 1980.
Why is he so casual? Are we at the Soho House and he's wearing his Penn sweatshirt? I think he should have dressed up more.
So beige flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a green
for
flag?
me, total green flag.
Okay.
I think about John F. Kennedy Jr. for some reason.
Okay.
The preppy look, it's coming back. Upper East Side is the new what?
Oh,
Lower
yeah.
East Side. Let's bring back the
New
preppy
East Village.
sweatshirts. Throw them on. Green flag all day.
I'm picturing like a sweatsuit.
Sweatsuit.
Yeah, like an NYU
Speaking of
sweatsuit.
sweatsuits, let's move on to the next one.
Perfect.
Matching outfits. Red flag or green flag? Do you match with your boys?
I think, well, they did coordinating outfits. They did they looked nice together.
Right. So green flag for you?
I think that just depends on what you're wearing. I'm gonna go green flag. I think it's fine as long as it's not like true matching JCPenney picture outfits.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you. I would say green flag. I think it's cute to dress up with your significant other and show up. But people are like, did you guys think about that? It's like, no shit, we did. And then our last red flag, green flag is denying you dated someone for 10 years.
Wow,
after
the
you did.
reddest flag there is.
The reddest flag. I agree. Red flag. Just be honest. World is hard enough as it is. Let's just tell the truth. Well, that was super illuminating. I feel like we not only learned a lot about each other, but also touched on aspects of Taylor and Matty's relationship that, I mean, we didn't know about. And I think that's what makes it such a perfect relationship to analyze. There are so many different tangents, but also it was 10 years of history. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that. It's probably her longest relationship in a lot of ways. There's a lot going on right now with Travis, but I think Matty has a special place in her heart and in her music too.
I think as someone who loves Taylor and Matty equally, it is so fascinating to me, and I cannot wait to see what comes next because we have Matty's Wedding to Gabriette coming up. We have a new 1975 album coming, and we heard a rumor that he never signed an NDA, although he said he'll never sing about a fling, so there's a lot to come.
More to come, and be sure to stay tuned to Daily Mail to get all the latest scoops and gossip.
Thank you for joining us for our very first Celebrity Uncoupled, and we'll see you next time with another big breakup.